Hello, today I'm going to be fixing up one of the houses in Sanctuary Hills. It's the blue house, which is the first one right when you walk in over the bridge. It's in a pretty dire state at the moment, very messy, falling apart, there's holes in all the roofs, rain comes through the ceiling, so it's got a lot of work that needs doing, but I think that we can manage to make this into something a lot nicer. I started by patching up the roofs with the scaffolding ramps and some pieces of plywood. Hopefully that'll be secure enough to keep the rain from coming through. I repaired the windows using the glass house pieces so that you'd still be able to see through, and I fixed the ceilings using just the normal shack roof. Then I finished up the exterior by just adding lots of different walls to fill up all of the holes and add a nice scrappy look to it. I made sure to add on a door and just check that it didn't clip with anything while it was opening or closing. I built some extra things outside just to give the place some character and visual interest and cleaned up some of the rubbish. If you have mods like Place Anywhere and Scrap Everything, you're able to reuse some of the pieces from the environment. Repurposing these things is a great way to add extra details that you couldn't use if you just scrapped everything. I enclosed the carport to make a little armory, and then I finished up the inside with a bunch of furnishing and decorations. This Creation Club sliding door is a perfect fit for the door frames inside. I tried to carefully select all the objects in each of the rooms to make sure that every different room told a story and you'd be able to tell just based off of the environment alone what everything was used for. And I think it turned out pretty good in my opinion. Now I just got to finish off all the miscellaneous details and decorations and we'll be on to the tour. So I'll see you there. And welcome to the finished house. It's kind of a guard house, security area. I'll explain it all as we go along. So for the outside of the house, I didn't really do anything extra. Just patched it all up, made sure there was no holes. I put a turret with some storage underneath it just to protect the entrance because it's right there. I built this little bridge thing over the footpath because the footpath was just dirt and I didn't want people tracking mud into the house, Here we have a little dog house. I've got 3 dogs in the settlement and they all take turns being the guard dogs. There's some food there for them. I think it might be dog change over time. Dog meat seems to have been getting a bit bored in there. Around the side we have this ladder that we can go up. And up here is a rooftop garden. We have some mutated fern, some corn. This is just where they can store some things that they've picked. And there's some fertilizer here. You can stop and have a little break up here as well if you want. This couch got a little bit wet in the rain, so we got some fungus growing off of it, but we just decided to leave it and not clean it up because, maybe we can find a use for the fungus. I don't know, we just let it grow. It'd probably spring back up again if we got rid of it anyway. There's a guard post up here, so you can look out over the entrance. It's got a pretty good view of everyone who's coming in. I've got a lot of these planters around and I love these so much. They're just so good for decoration. They're from a mod called Wasteland Gardening, I think. I can leave a link to it down below to the Nexus if you want to pick it up. I just love how they look. Coming back down. I haven't done much at the back. I'm probably going to go through and do all of these open areas in between all the houses later once I've fleshed out more of the settlement. So right now this is just nothing. Again with this side, I might chuck some stuff in front of it, but we'll see. Around the front here, this is where you would come if you were arriving to the settlement for the first time. No matter what you were here for, you would still come up and go right to this welcome sign, and you can come over here and get some free food and water or another drink, whatever you want. Back here we've got some storage for the food and drinks for the counter. Here's a little weapons workbench, and we have an armory here which is restricted, so only people with the key can come in. This is where we store all of our weapons and supplies for working on them and making modifications, that type of stuff, and all of the ammo that we need for the weapons. Cute little room. Back through the gate, we can head on inside. First thing that is in here is a sitting area for people who have come in, grab something. They come in here and they can hang out, wait until they can talk to someone. We don't just let people straight on through into the settlement without speaking to them first, because we don't know who's showing up. They could be dangerous, they could be trying to rob us. So we gotta make sure we suss them out before we let them in. You can grab something to read while you wait, or if there's a group of you could play a game. There's some coffee, and you can get some food, have a smoke, some books to read.
Just, I need to be alone right now.
Okay, sorry, I'll leave. We got a radio. Let's turn that on. This is where you can come if you've grabbed your one free drink. Okay, just kidding, the radio's a bit loud, we'll turn it off. If you've grabbed your one free drink and you're still thirsty, you can come and grab something at the bar. I'll grab someone to assign for this later, but I don't have anyone at the settlement right now who can do it. So I'll have to pick someone up. But you can buy some alcohol or other drinks, or grab a jug of water, a glass of water. Through here is where the guards who are on duty can sleep. They've got a curtain they can close off for some privacy, and here we have a couple beds with some footlockers for them to store their things. Minuteman flag and a decorated shelf, just to keep spirits high, We've got time to go and grab decorations to make things look pretty, and it makes people feel more at home. They got some games. Another bed over here with some food that they can grab if they're hungry, need a snack while they're on guard. If we come down the hallway, we've just got a display with some nice looking things. Here's a filing cabinet. Here we store all of the information about everyone who's passed through, or anyone else that we know about, anything else we're trying to keep an eye on, locations, scouting out for the Minutemen. This room is the office. Here is just a little desk where someone works, types up notes and letters and things, and throws them all over the floor, apparently. This is the interview seat, so when people will get called through from that waiting area over there, and they can come and sit and just have a chat with whoever's on duty, and they'll write down all the information, what they're here for, if they're looking to buy something, where they came from, take a photo of them, and then that can go into a folder into the filing cabinet. So we got good records. Through this door is our prison cell. If anyone shows up here for nefarious reasons, trying to steal something, or if someone's just being disorderly in public, we can lock them up for the night, that type of thing. Only one cell though, so we only keep the most dangerous person in here. Ain't no sharing this cell. This is just a waiting area for whoever's on duty. They can watch over the prisoner, or if it's a drunk guy, make sure he doesn't, drown in his own vomit or something. They got food and some drinks and a mini nuke to tinker with, apparently. I should probably keep an eye on that, find out who put that there. Here's some handcuffs, other notes, get information from whoever's in there. This is where we can store their things before we decide if they deserve to have it back or not. Here's the little cell. It's a bit messy in here, but I don't know. People just break things, and there's not much we can do about it, so it's just, we got to clean it out. Here's a little sleeping bag for them to sleep on, and a toilet, but as you can see, the toilet isn't very functional, so that's what that bucket is there for. Whoever's on duty has to come and scoop it out every once in a while. So just hope you're not that person. And that is about it. So I'm very happy with this house. I thought it turned out quite nice. The next thing I think I'm going to be doing is working on the actual entrance to the settlement. So I might build up some walls or defenses. We'll see, and I might put walls around it. I'm interested to see what I come up with, because normally I don't really work with the front of the settlement of Sanctuary. And if you want to see what I'm going to do, then maybe subscribe. And then you can wait and see, and I'll get working on that as soon as I can. Here is another quick overview of the house. Let me know. Oh, Sheffield's on the roof. Yeah, that's how you can tell we patched up the roof really nice, because it's strong enough for people to walk on, apparently. So, I mean, thanks for showing that off, Sheffield. That's great. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.